God bless you, my brothers and sisters. We are continuing today in our 30 Days of Decrease series. I want to commend you to read through the scriptures for today. Those are John chapter 19, verses 28 through 37. Our fast for today is mocking Jesus. Mockery reveals what power is willing to do when it can no longer control truth. When arguments fail, authority is threatened, ridicule becomes a weapon. Mocking Jesus was not accidental or trivial. It was deliberate humiliation meant to strip him of his dignity, to silence his witness, and reduce divine truth to spectacle. Lent presses us to further consider how easily suffering is dismissed when it challenges our assumptions or inconveniences our comfort. Today invites us to confront the posture of mockery, not only as something done to Jesus long time ago, but as a temptation that still shapes suffering, obedience, and faithfulness today. Mocking Jesus is the act of trivializing, ridiculing, or dismissing Christ's suffering, his authority, or his call to obedience. Spiritually, mockery is a form of distance. It allows us to remain entertained rather than convicted, detached rather than attentive. To fast from mocking Jesus is not only to avoid cruelty in speech, it's to refuse the posture that treats Christ's suffering as symbolic rather than costly, as instructional rather than transformative. This season is not just a lesson, it's not just for information. This season is designed to show us the costly sacrifice in suffering, in blood, and in the giving up of his life. And any effort to reduce that to mere information or to some symbolism is mockery. John 19:28 records, after this, Jesus, knowing that all was now finished, said, to fulfill the scripture, I thirst. Even in agony, Jesus is conscious of fulfillment. His suffering is neither random nor meaningless. A jar full of sour wine is sitting nearby. And John 19:29 continues, so they put a sponge full of sour wine on a hyssop branch and held it to his mouth. What is given is not relief, it's irony. It's mock provision offered without mercy. John 19:30 adds, when Jesus had received the sour wine, he said, it is finished. And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. That statement is decisive. Mockery does not have the final word, completion does. John continues describing how the soldiers break the legs of the others crucified with Jesus. Verse 33, but when they came to Jesus and saw that he was already dead, they did not break his legs. Instead, a soldier pierces his side, and at once came out blood and water, according to verse 34. What appears as further humiliation actually becomes testimony. The scripture says, not one of his bones will be broken. They will look on him whom they have pierced, according to John 19:36 through 37. Even mockery, violence, and dismissal are gathered up into fulfillment. Nothing is wasted in the story of Calvary. Mockery attempts to shrink meaning. It treats suffering as weakness and obedience as foolishness. Yet the cross reveals a different truth. What appears absurd becomes redemptive. What is ridiculed becomes the means of salvation. And Jesus does not retaliate or defend himself against mockery. He absorbs it. His silence is not agreement. It's authority exercised through restraint. Mockery loses its power when it cannot provoke a response. The heart of today is that mockery blinds us to the cost of faithfulness. It anesthetizes us to suffering. When ridicule replaces reverence, transformation stalls. Jesus endures mockery without surrendering truth, and his example invites us to attend fully to suffering rather than to dismiss it as spectacle. Lent then sharpens our attentiveness. By fasting mockery, we learn to resist distance that numb compassion and dilute witness. This fast forms reverence in us, refusing to turn sacred suffering into entertainment or abstraction, because reverence replaces ridicule, attention replaces avoidance. And so today, this fast asks where mockery has taken a subtle hold. Notice where humor, detachment, cynicism has replaced seriousness about obedience, about sacrifice, and about suffering. And then choose one act of reverent attention today, lingering with a hard scripture, honoring another person's pain, or something as simple as refusing dismissive speech where depth is required. These are your questions for reflection today as you prepare to pray. Where do I tend to dismiss or minimize suffering? How has mockery shaped my response to difficult aspects of faith? And what would reverent attention look like today? God bless you, my brothers and sisters. Again, I want to commend you to read through the scriptures for today. That's John chapter 19, verses 28 through 37. And then take the time to pray as you prepare to center yourself around the heart fast for today. God bless you, my brothers and sisters, and we'll see you on the next day of Lent.